Hey guys, Wister here. Today we've just got a short sort of Star Citizen video. Just going to go over the basics of breaking bigger rocks when you're out mining solo. It's one of those things that a lot of people find can be a little bit daunting the first sort of time, as it's got the extra sort of risk, especially when you're mining something like quantanium. Before we get into it, there are going to be a couple of things that we're going to need to grab. We are here at Arc L1, one of the refinery stations near sort of Arc Corp. You could, and I mean you definitely could, grab one of these mining gadgets. These are one of the new ones that came in with 3.17 that need to be placed onto the rock manually. But I'll be honest, I haven't had much luck using them, and I've got a bit of a tried and tested way that I prefer to use anyway. So we're going to come over to this trading terminal here. This is the new sort of menu anyway, so it makes it a little bit easier to find everything. The first thing we're going to want to do is go to utility and then go to mining laser heads. The first one that we're going to look at is the Lancer MH1. You can watch many videos on YouTube. I think a lot of them are going to be sort of recommending this. The main reason the MH1 is the sort of the go-to is because it reduces the instability of the rocks. It's not as powerful as something as, say, the Impact, but it does just give you that little bit extra leeway when it comes to mining something like quantanium. The other things we're going to want, I don't actually think are sold here. We're going to want these. There we go. So we've got one of them here. We've got the Stampede Module. We're going to want one of these. Essentially what this does is allows us to fill up the green bar when we're mining a lot faster. But obviously it does carry the extra risk of it may explode the rock. And if it does explode, it's bye-bye prospector. The other one that we're going to want is a surge module. Surge modules can be found generally, I think, at one of the Hurston stations. I think it's Her L1, which is just over here. So it's quite handy if you could pop over there. Surge is a bit of a necessity, really. It's one of those ones that I will never go out without at least one of them in my prospector or the mole. What we are going to do very quickly is just jump onto the menu. We're going to come across here to the Loadout manager. We're going to apparently not click on the prospector because it's not here. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Bit of an overlook. Actually, you do actually need to make sure that the ship that you want to do is in the right station. But a quick trip over to the fleet terminals over there, and we've managed to get it over here. So where were we? We're going to press F1. We're going to bring up your Moby glass. From here, we're going to go to the vehicle loadout manager. You're going to select the ship that you want to do, either the mole or the prospector. In this case, for the solo, we're going to go for the prospector. Now, none of this really matters. You can change any of this if you fancy it. The only thing I would sort of recommend doing is changing this quantum drive from sort of the Goliath or the Rush. Maybe something like a VK00 or an Atlas, just to give you that sort of quicker spooling time. It's not really a necessity though. What we are going to do, obviously, is swap the standard mining laser for the MH1. And you'll notice that you've got the one sort of module slot on the Arbor. And this is one of the main reasons that we're going to be swapping these two out. Because the Lancet's got 3. So what I'm going to do, you can set this up however much you like, as long as you've got a Surge and a Stampede. The third one doesn't really matter. As you can see, I've sort of messed around with a few different modules, seeing what they do. You've got the torrents that sort of increase your power, the forals that sort of reduce the resistance and things, the filters that get rid of sort of inert materials. You can do what you like, really. I'm actually going to equip a second Surge. I just find it's a bit better to have more. You've got 5 uses with each of these, so with 10 you can stay out and you can break bigger rocks sort of more if you need to. So all you're going to do is save changes and equip, exit out of that, then it's off to go and get the ship. So obviously this bit takes a little bit of time with the elevators, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut from here. I'm just going to grab my prospector,
selected.
It's going to be at pad 2, I would have thought.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following
So,
location.
there it is down there. I'm going to go get my prospector. I'll see you down there. So, here we are at the prospector. I've got to admit, I think this is one of my favourite ships, sort of the small ships in the game. I love how it looks. It's got this sort of really good industrial, no holds barred look, and especially with the Lancet mining laser, it just looks incredible, really. I don't think you can beat this ship for the sort of your basic looks. Maybe the Mole. I do like my sort of industrial ships. So what you're going to do, get into your Prosper, and we're going to head over to, so we're actually going to head over to Lyria. It's sort of my go-to. The belt is a little bit funny at the moment. It's definitely safer to mine in the belt. People can't really drop in on you as easy. But I found at the moment, especially with sort of 317 just dropping, a lot of the rocks are not scannable, and that's not what we need really. We want to be able to scan all of the rocks that we need to be able to find, so that we can hopefully find one of these bigger rocks and get it going. So we are going to jump ourselves over to Lyria.
You are clear to launch.
Why, thank you. So it's going to be a short blast over to ArcCorp, then across to Lyria, and there's no point you guys sitting here and watching this this long ass drive, so I will see you guys.
Landing gear up.
So a little skip across to Lyria, and here we are. Like I said, this is my favourite place to mine. I think I have the most luck over here. I, like many others, will tend to sort of come over this way. I want to look for something in the sun. It's a lot easier to find rocks when you can actually see where they are, especially with scanning as it is sort of in 317. Obviously there's been a little bit of an issue with scanning, so it's just one of those things. We make do until they hopefully fix it. But anyway, I'm going to jump down here. I'm going to have a look for some proper rocks, see if I can find some big. We're talking sort of over 5,000 mass. Anything up to 5,000 shouldn't really be a problem to mine. It's anything above that you might start needing to use modules. Anything over 6,000 you're definitely going to need modules. There's just no way about it. It's that, or find yourself a friend with another prospector and see if they're happy to join you on a bit of a mining run. Or you could go and join one of the mining organisations that there are. There are many out there. I'm part of one myself. I'm part of one called Bifrost. So check them out if you fancy. But yeah, I'm going to go find us a big rock, and we will catch back up once we are ready to mine. Right guys, here we are. We have got a good sort of quant rock in front of us. I'll just show you. It's not good in terms of the amount of quant. It's only 4.6. Normally, I'll be honest, I wouldn't go for this. Anything less than sort of 20% isn't really worth it in my books. And I think a lot of people would agree with me. We did find one earlier on that was really annoying. It was 24%, but the problem was it was only a 4,000 SCU rock, so it's not really worth doing it, especially not for this video where I want to actually show how we're doing this. So the way we've got here, I'm kind of assuming that if you're watching this video, you already know the basics of how to mine with a prospector, how to find quantanium. If not, I will be doing another video and I will link it once it's made. But for the basis of this, I'm kind of just assuming that you already know how to mine. We're just going over how to do it slightly better. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, get yourself into a good optimal range. You can see it up in the top left. We've got current range of 24. I'm actually going to back that off a little bit. I want to be just within optimal, but I don't want to be too close, because if it starts to overcharge, we're going to back off. We're going to turn the laser on, obviously, straight to maximum, and we're going to see how that charge moves. Notice how it's moving a little bit. It's not really going up at all. So this is where the surge modules come in. we're going to wait for it to get to pretty much its highest point, and we're going to surge with Alt and 1. That uses the first module. Now, we're going to see how far away it takes us, obviously from the green. It may go up, depending on the instability of the rock. We may push in. However, I think it's probably going to drop. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the surge module to redo, and we know that from pretty much 0, one surge module will get us up to just before the green. Oh, there you go. So we're kind of just on the green. At this point, we could push forward slightly, drop the resistance a little bit by getting a bit closer to the rock. And what that's going to do is just push us that little bit further. We're not going to stampede until we're sort of bang in the middle of that green zone. There's not really much point. So there we go. Now we're up there. We're going to press Alt and 2, bring up the surge module, and we're going to drop ourselves back away from the rock just in case. Now notice we're still 100% because this rock's too big. Well, there you have it. That is essentially how to break a very big rock. Had that not gone up into the optimal zone, we could have dropped it back down, sort of guesstimated where that was going to be, and then surged again to pop us up into the optimal zone. My sort of advice, if you're going to do that, pop it up into the optimal zone, and immediately once it's in there, pop a Stampede module. Otherwise, you're just going to lose it, all of the charge that you could build up. But anyway, there you are. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.